Warning: this video discusses dark and disturbing topics such as domestic violence and murder, which may be triggering to some viewers. Please be respectful in the comments to all the victims mentioned. Viewers' discretion is advised. TikTok. At this point, I'm pretty sure we've all heard of it. But if somehow you never have, simply put, it's a short-form video platform where millions of users upload and consume bite-sized clips every day. Its algorithm rapidly pushes trending content to massive audiences, often turning unknown creators into overnight viral sensations. Today we're going to be discussing the dark side of TikTok. In today's world, being a content creator is something I think many people have considered. I mean, think about it. If you're working constantly and you probably only see your family a fraction of your off time, who wouldn't want to just make videos all day and have the opportunity to spend more time with their loved ones? And on top of that, possibly earning a vast income most people will more than likely never even see in their lifetime. So it's very easy to see why so many are attached to the concept of being a content creator. Whether it's an avid gamer that wants to be the next big streamer, to a podcast sharing their thoughts with the world. Unfortunately though, it doesn't always have a happy ending. Let's begin with the former TikTok creator known as Mr. Prada, real name Terrion Thomas. He was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on February 28, 2004. Terrion began creating content on TikTok in 2022. He would post funny and relatable clips, often in POV style, made to make people laugh. And it worked. His skits gained momentum pretty quickly, and before long he had gained millions of followers, earning a strong loyal fan base essentially overnight. However, not everyone enjoyed his content. As with anything in life, being a content creator and broadcasting yourself to millions around the globe, there will always be scrutiny, whether from trolls and haters or actual people who just want to provide criticism. That's just the way it goes when you're on the internet with millions watching. Terrion was accused multiple times of copying jokes and video concepts from other TikTok creators, never even giving credit to the original creators. However, this only fueled his ego even more, making TikToks mocking those who accused him of copying them. You may think this would have hindered his success or growth as a creator. Oftentimes, people do not take too kindly to copying or replicating other creators' content. However, this didn't really affect him that much, as his account only continued to grow. Even now, years later, his TikTok account sits at 4.1 million followers, but he hasn't posted a single TikTok since September 2024. I wonder why that could be. On September 29, 2024, the body of a Baton Rouge, Louisiana therapist, William Nicholas Abraham, was found on the side of a highway in Cannibal Parish, Louisiana. William had been brutally murdered in what the authorities described as a very violent altercation, dying from blunt force trauma to the head, neck, and shoulders, according to officials in Cannibal Parish, Louisiana. You may be asking yourself, how does Mr. Prada tie into all of this? Just a few days prior to this, surveillance cameras had shown William entering Mr. Prada's apartment complex on the Saturday morning of September 28, 2024. The next day, on September 29, 2024, William's body was found wrapped in a tarp on the side of a highway. While the connection to Terrion and William seems very unclear, many believe William was his therapist, which would actually make sense. However, why would you ever want to harm someone who's actively trying to help you? While it's very uncertain, it has been rumored that William may have molested Terrion during that time in which he was his client, which would provide motive for his murder. However, these are strictly allegations and cannot be ruled as fact. That being said though, this isn't the first time these types of allegations have been mentioned in connection to William Abraham. In 2015, nearly 10 years ago exactly, an 11-year-old boy accused William of molesting him during a counseling session. It was said the child was so distraught and upset after the session that he told his family he never wanted to see William again. Shortly after, the child had a session with a new counselor, and in which he explained the alleged sexual abuse by William. William was arrested during the time of these accusations, and he was booked in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, where he was eventually released after posting $25,000 bond. With that being said, this case was never officially brought to trial by prosecutors, citing insufficient evidence. The district attorney at the time made a statement that went as followed. This matter was under review by my office for approximately 2 years. After considering all available evidence, the best interest of the child, and the lack of any inculpatory statements by the arrestee, we declined to institute formal charges. Many have wondered if Terrion and the 11-year-old child in question are one and the same, and was this a case of revenge for the alleged abuse caused by William many years prior, creating lingering trauma? But that doesn't appear to be the case, with William's lawyer stating it's unequivocally not him. On Sunday, September 19, 2024, Terrion reportedly was seen driving William's car. Authorities attempted to stop the stolen vehicle, but Terrion refused to come to a stop, backing into the police car shortly after and fleeing the scene. Terrion then returned to his home, planning to get rid of the evidence of William's murder. In a panic, he began dragging a tarp out of his apartment and then placing it into William's car. This led to the Baton Rouge Police Department to do a full search of Terrion's home, in which they reached the conclusion that an extremely violent altercation had occurred at the home. Upon their discovery, they had found sharp objects and weapons, along with blood in the apartment that was tested and confirmed to be an exact match to William. On October 1, 2024, Terrion Thomas fled once again on a bus to Texas, where he was eventually detained and arrested. The Dallas Police Department charged him with 3 charges of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, resisting an officer, and aggravated criminal damage to property. Many of Terrion's supporters have spoken up on the platform, pointing to several of his videos where he openly mentioned being bipolar, something that quickly sparked worry among his viewers. Following a series of impulsive decisions, including dramatically altering his look by shaving both his head and eyebrows, online commentators began labeling him a crash out, which in a nutshell means to lose control and not think rationally. In one clip that drew particular attention, Terrion made the remark, "I don't think I've ever come across anyone as crazy as myself." On October 7, 2024, after a week of being detained, Terrion was extradited to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where he was held at the East Baton Rouge jail where his case pended investigation. Terrion's charge has since been upgraded from second-degree murder to first-degree murder, on account of Louisiana laws by a grand jury in Baton Rouge. According to the Louisiana State Legislature, under Title 14, Section 30A5, if the victim is under the age of 12 or over the age of 65, the murder is considered first degree. First-degree murder is the most serious homicide charge, classifying premeditated murder. On January 28, 2025, an arraignment hearing was held, making this Terrion's first official appearance in court. After the judge read his official charges and explained his legal rights before entering a plea, Terrion pled not guilty. Later that summer in July 2025, Terrion was denied bond during another court proceeding. With a hearing set for October 8, 2025, defense attorney Stephen Sterling filed a request asking that Terrion Thomas undergo a mental health evaluation, a motion that the judge approved. To assess whether Thomas was mentally fit to proceed to trial, the judge assigned 2 specialists to conduct evaluations and submit their findings. According to the Criminal Resource Manual, the courts may initiate competency proceedings if there is reasonable cause to believe that the defendant may presently be suffering from a mental disorder or impairment that may affect their ability to participate in legal proceedings. Thomas's competency hearing was scheduled for January 28, 2026, and the current results are unknown to the public at this time. Investigators have not publicly disclosed a possible motive behind the killing, and authorities say there is no indication that Abraham was ever providing medical care to Thomas at the time of his death. Thomas currently remains in custody awaiting trial, and if ultimately found guilty, could face a sentence of life imprisonment. There are still so many unanswered questions revolving around this case. Why did Mr. Prada murder this therapist? What is their connection? Why were they meeting that night at his apartment? At this time, it looks like we're just going to have to wait and just see how the rest of the trial plays out before getting the answers to so many unsettling questions. In this next case, the script is completely flipped. While some of the cases today cover deranged TikTokers who completely lost the plot in a murderous rage, this one is a little different. Born Maurice Jaden Harrison on September 25, 2004, Girllalala was a trans TikToker from Pompano Beach, Florida, where she was a hairstylist who also made beauty and style content, mostly centered around wigs. She also often talked about different things in her life and made videos with her boyfriend, Shanoid White Jr., 25 years old, often referred to as Shaba. She launched her account in August 2022 and eventually rose to stardom on the platform, with her account currently sitting at over 300,000 followers. Unfortunately, tragedy struck. On the evening of November 14, 2025, Girllalala was brutally murdered in Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. She was just 21 years old when her life was tragically cut short. Video footage from a neighbor's Tesla showed Girllalala slumping out of the front passenger seat of Shaba's car as he helps her back up into the seat and then closes the car door. Footage also showed Shaba walking around the car and pacing with what looks like a gun in his hand. Moments later, Shaba called 911 in a panic, saying,
"Stay on the phone with me, okay?"
Yes, hello.
This is not.
Hello.
This is not.
Get here, hurry up and get here. Who's calling me? Hurry up and get here.
Stay on the line with me. I need you to stay on the line with me, okay?
Yes, I don't know the address, bro. Just check. Just check, please.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
When deputies arrived from the Broward Sheriff Office, they found Girllalala suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Shortly after this, paramedics transported her to Broward Health Medical Center, where she was devastatingly pronounced deceased. Shanoid White Jr. was taken into custody. At that time, Shaba said Girllalala and himself were having a verbal argument inside his car, and that's when the argument turned physical and he shot her at some point. Shanoid White Jr. faces a charge of first-degree murder with a firearm and is being held without bond. However, this was not the first time he was in a violent altercation. He was charged for domestic violence in 2022, though it has been confirmed that the victim in this case was not Girllalala and had been a previous relationship. The victim in that case did not proceed further with charges against Shaba. Shanoid White Jr. had previously played football at Bethune-Cookman University and also has a daughter from a previous relationship. Girllalala and Shaba had been in a relationship for several years, eventually even getting engaged in 2025 on Valentine's Day, a day that should be a loving memory for years to come. From the outside looking in, it may have appeared like the two had a great relationship, but taking a deeper look, things weren't at all what they seemed to be. Trouble in paradise is a major understatement. Girllalala posted multiple TikToks showing injuries she received from domestic abuse.
One something in the morning, while I'm outside at McDonald's sitting on the floor, I decided to pop up to my friend's house trying to kill me. Like, bruh, I don't know what my mama done blessed me with, but Fat One doing this thing, cause it got a nigga like literally outside my friend's house, like 2 miles away, trying to get to me. Like, this boy is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, bruh, he already done slapped me in my mouth tonight. Yesterday, put a knot on my face. Like, it like could go down like I can't even see it, but it was like right here. Face was like, what to cut it? Scratched me in my face right here. I don't know if I could see it, like right there. Bro, the boy is crazy. Like, look at my arms. Cause of him. Knees. Bruh. When I tell you I'm done, I'm done.
No one really knows why she stayed in this relationship, or why no one answered her obvious cries for help. A GoFundMe that's currently no longer active was set up for Girllalala's funeral expenses. She was very loved by many. JT, a rapper from the hip-hop duo The City Girl, donated over $13,000 to the GoFundMe. She's quoted as saying, "Rest beautiful, Girllalala. We love you, and heaven will never be boring now that you're there. Your boldness, energy, humor, and beauty will be missed. You never missed a chance to show me love, and for that I'm grateful. I'm sorry this happened to you." During her funeral, she was given a proclamation by the city of Pompano Beach. Sadly, This is not the first time Girllalala's family has suffered such a tragic and devastating loss. In 2024, her brother died as a result of gun violence. Shanoid White Jr. is currently being held in jail awaiting his next court appearance, which is at this time scheduled for April 27, 2026. As of this time, unfortunately, we don't have much to go off of as for the motive as to why Shanoid murdered his fiancée. There has been much speculation that Shanoid couldn't come to terms with the fact that Girllalala was trans, and therefore snapped, and this is ultimately what led to Girllalala's murder. But that is something that was never hidden from her page, and something that she was very open and honest about, so that seems to be very unlikely. So again, it's really hard to say at this point the true cause of the crime committed. There were obvious signs though that there were many problems in their relationship. While the future of this case is uncertain, hopefully in time, Girllalala's family will get the justice they deserve. I know many of us love a good laugh, whether you're on your lunch break at work trying to pass the time or just waking up in the morning while sipping your coffee and doom scrolling videos on your phone. Oftentimes, comedy can be a coping mechanism for people with past trauma, which plays into the next case. In 2019, there was a rapidly growing TikToker known as JinnKid who started gaining a following while doing sketch comedy content and impressions of figures like the rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, characters from video games like Skyrim, and also violent killers like Tony Montana from Scarface, which is pretty unsettling as this eventually parallels his real life when his jealousy and rage gets the best of him and he murders his wife Anna and her friend Ray. JinnKid's real name is Ali Abulaban. Ali was born in Staten Island, New York on May 18, 1992 to immigrant Palestinian parents. A few years later, when he was 2 years old, his family relocated to the state of Virginia, where he also grew up. Ali didn't really have the typical childhood that most children had, although that's what he always wanted, to fit in, to have a regular life most kids had. Unfortunately, he did have a very rough upbringing. He was raised in a strict Muslim household, and his father not only abused him but his mother as well, and naturally, he grew up terrified of his father. Not only this, but he was also heavily bullied in school as a child for having big ears and looking different than the other children in his class. There are even examples of this insecurity in some of his TikToks, where he tries to make jokes about his own ears, turning an insecurity into something funny, which is very common as a coping mechanism. Eventually, Ali graduated high school and was forced to go to a community college, but it didn't really work out, and before long, he had dropped out. This is the big turning point for Ali's future. In 2014, he made the decision to join the Air Force, where he was stationed in Japan. This was a very big change for Ali, one that he loved. It was a whole new world for him filled with different people, culture, and generally everything it had to offer. Along with this new life, things got even better. While stationed in the Air Force in Japan, he met a woman named Anna who was also stationed there, only at this time she was married to his coworker and in a completely different relationship, but that relationship was slowly dying out. Before long, Ali and Anna fell in love right away. Unfortunately, Ali may have loved a little too hard. Shortly after the beginning of their relationship, Ali became incredibly and dangerously possessive of Anna. By August 2015, there were police reports of Ali being intoxicated and physically abusing her. He also had charges in the military where he was other than honorably discharged. Instead of using these experiences to grow and elevate as a person and seek help for this dangerous behavior, he continued to spiral and get worse. It truly appeared as if he believed he could get away with these heinous actions. After Ali was discharged from the Air Force, he and Anna broke up. This led to Ali moving back to his home state of Virginia where his family was, and Anna went back to the Philippines. Well, after Anna went back home, something happened. Something that tied Anna and Ali together forever. Anna got pregnant. Naturally, Anna was very nervous and scared, so she decided to tell Ali about her pregnancy, and he had managed to convince her to move to America to be with him and build a life together, and they made plans to eventually get married. In 2016, their daughter was born. Ali flew to the Philippines for a few months to spend time with Anna and to bond with his daughter and to get to know Anna's family and experience life in the Philippines. When their daughter was 9 months old, Anna's visa was approved, and they moved to Virginia where Ali's family lived. Anna and Ali got married and bought a house and began their life together. Ultimate goals for many couples. This was right around the time where Ali's time on TikTok began. He started making TikToks in 2016, doing impressions of notable characters, some of them being violent. Ali loved making others laugh, and he started rapidly growing, going by the name JinnKid. In the Islamic religion, the jinn is an unknown being, but not something that's really good or bad. People all over the world loved his skits and impressions, and he loved the attention. It was a major adrenaline rush for him. Anna would also sometimes appear in the skits with him. At this point in his life, Ali and Anna had now lived in Virginia for years. It was time for a change and a new lifestyle as well. Anna had many friends from high school and the Air Force who lived in San Diego, California. They eventually made plans to visit the area. Anna loved it there, and really everything it had to offer. She would eventually tell Ali she wanted to move there and build their life there. Now at first, naturally, Ali was a bit hesitant to the idea of uprooting their whole lives to a completely different place. That being said, it began to slowly fester in his mind the opportunities he would get while living in a place like this. He's a growing TikTok star who would be very close to LA, where there would be lots of opportunities and different people to connect with. And it really was a no-brainer decision for Ali. This could totally change his career, and he knew it. They made plans to move to San Diego and officially moved there in February 2021 into a luxury high-rise apartment known as Spire. After they moved to San Diego, things began to get a bit out of control for both of them. They began to have a more party lifestyle than they were used to back home in Virginia. They started doing drugs, including cocaine. Ali eventually realized it was becoming a big problem, and on top of this, his numbers on social media were constantly fluctuating, which began to have an effect on him mentally. Things only got worse from here. In May 2021, Ali's mother had left his father and their family for another man, which absolutely devastated him. He was destroyed by this, consumed with rage and pain. He felt abandoned. All the values he was raised with just went out the door. He felt resentment, but instead of taking it out on his mother, the person who caused all of this pain, Ali took it out on his wife, Anna. He would constantly question her and her loyalty. He became incredibly and exhaustingly insecure. Ali and Anna had started fighting a lot shortly after this. He would constantly accuse her of wanting to be with other men, even taking her phone from her when she wanted to leave due to his erratic and abusive behavior towards her.
Give me my phone back. Enough! Ollie, enough! Ollie!
Stop.
Leave me alone!
Stop.
Give me my phone back.
Close the
You're
door.
hurting my finger!
You are out of control.
Give me my phone. You're the one out of control! I'm trying to leave this house!
Yeah, that's not cool.
Give me my phone!
With a bunch of guys?
Give me my phone!
Bunch of guys, huh?
Give me my phone! There's no guys! Give me my phone! This is not healthy, man.
You're not healthy.
He would record Anna in their arguments and discussions, which was a worrying escalation of his toxic behavior. In July 2021, they had an argument which eventually led to Ali punching Anna in the face multiple times, where she had bruises all over her face. He would send her messages begging for her forgiveness, under the guise that it wouldn't happen again. Ultimately, he convinced her to come back and give him another chance. On September 8th, 2021, 9:35 p.m., Anna called the cops. She requested the police due to domestic violence once again. At the time of this, Ali was actually doing an Instagram live stream for all of his viewers, putting his and Anna's problems on public display.
Me in a jail cell. Don't get married, guys. Don't get fucking married. This fucking bitch. I dedicated my life. I threw my whole life away for her. And now she's throwing away my life.
After the San Diego police arrived, Anna explained how she was being abused by Ali, and it had been happening for a long time now. Anna once again had bruises, and this was actually the first time where Anna herself made a police report about domestic violence. Although I think we can say Ali lost the plot a long time ago, it was only getting worse and worse. He would berate Anna on his live streams, even going as far as mentioning she wasn't a real American citizen, almost as if he believed he actually owned her and was his property to do whatever he wanted with her.
You're not even an American citizen. I brought you to this goddamn country. Name one man that would do that for you.
At this point, as his marriage was falling apart, his cocaine addiction was also only getting worse, and he began to truly spiral out of control. While Anna was away, Ali became unfaithful, and Anna found out, confronting one of the women he slept with. Anna even made a TikTok about finding out about Ali's cheating and mentioning all the abuse she endured by him. At this point, Anna was done. It was over. Anna finally left Ali. Anna had a friend named Ray, real name Rayburn Cardenas Barone. He was mentioned as being a very good and loyal friend to Anna, and after Anna left Ali, she began to build a new relationship with him. He was said to be very hardworking and work construction with his brother. Ray would be out with Anna and their friend group often, whether it be at restaurants, bars, clubs, etc. And from the very beginning, Ali never liked Ray. Ali was so angry that Anna hung out with Ray, he would call her trash and disrespect her. Ray treated Anna with respect, and it seemed like they were falling for one another. On October 17, 2021, Ali had once again attempted to get Anna back. He begged her to have a family dinner with him and their daughter, and surprisingly, Anna agreed. When she left, Ali got into her car, refusing to get out and once again showing his true colors. He punched Anna multiple times, causing her to scream, all while their daughter was in the car. What's so unsettling about Ali is he knew exactly what he was doing. What I mean by this is he made recordings of Anna and their fights all the time. He mentions how he listened to the recordings in their fights and even admits he knows he's in the wrong and has his issues, but he's also laughing about it. Truly disturbing behavior.
I've been sitting here for like an hour or two, and I just went through all of the audio recordings that I have of us arguing. I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I get it. Why you're sick of me. I get it. Why you don't want to see me. Yeah, I just need to be responsible for what I did. Just want to let you know I'm learning, and I see the truth, and I do very much love you, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all this.
Despite all of this though, all of the pain and torment he put Anna through, he still wanted to get his wife and family back together. Anna had taken their daughter to school, and after she had lunch with some of her friends, she returned back to the apartment completely vandalized. Cops were called by Ali, where in a panic he mentions two people, his wife and another man, were shot in the face.
Yes, ma'am. My wife and another man were, I found them dead on the couch.
Okay, stand by.
No, my wife, please don't.
Okay, hold on, sir.
Please don't.
Tell me what you saw when you went in there.
I saw my wife on the couch. Put my wife on her head.
Why is that on her?
I don't know who he is. I know him. He's been in Gray.
Ray? Okay, look. I know you said your wife was shot in the face. Is that what you said?
Yeah, on the forehead. And he had two little pretty bullets in the head.
The police entered the apartment and found both victims dead on the couch. The police, of course, are trying to gather what happened. Who are the victims? Who could the suspect be? And what led to this disturbing crime? At 3:35 p.m., the police tracked down Ali's Jeep on the freeway. Ali was arrested and then taken to the police station, where he was interviewed by homicide detectives. Now, let's rewind a little bit. Anna left around 8:40 a.m. to take their daughter to school. Ali showed up around 9:12 a.m. on surveillance cameras at the apartment elevator to the 35th floor, where he trashed the apartment and recorded it on his phone. Ali had also downloaded a mysterious listening app to his daughter's iPad so he could listen in on everything being said at Anna's apartment. At some point, Ray had showed up to the apartment to help Anna clean up the mess that Ali caused. At 2:50 p.m., Ali shows up and is recording with his phone. He then enters the elevator and goes straight to the apartment. And then just over a second later, you can hear Ali unholster his gun, and then gunshots ring out. Anna began screaming in horror, terrified, and that was the last time she or Ray were seen alive. Ali leaves briefly, but runs back inside the apartment screaming. Shockingly, Ali took 2 photos of their corpses on the couch. He then sent them to his parents before calling and confessing about the murders he committed, blaming it on Anna being with another man and being unfaithful.
I just tried to live. To live the way everyone else. I just tried to live. To live. I don't know.
It's at this time where he calls the police in a panic and screaming, telling them his wife and another man were murdered in the apartment. What's interesting is he never once has any information that he was the one who killed them. Ali then hangs up on the 911 dispatcher and flees the scene, heading to pick up his 5-year-old daughter from school and then getting on the freeway, only to be surrounded by multiple police officers and helicopters, prompting him to pull over and surrender to the police. Ray had 3 gunshot wounds. 1 entered his cheek, 1 entered his neck, and 1 entered the back of his head. Anna was shot once in the top of her forehead, with the bullet exiting from the back of her head, cracking her skull. Having military experience, Ali knew exactly what he was doing. Ali had been obsessing over this for a very long time, the possibility that his wife could be with someone else and he could lose her forever. Only this time, it was really happening right before his eyes. However, like we stated before, instead of putting a stop to his rage and toxic behavior, instead of taking a look at the big picture and getting help, he had only gotten worse, getting more and more obsessed with this concept of a disloyal wife, leaning more into his emotions rather than being rational and fixing his issues. The rage was let out of the cage, and there was no putting it back in, ultimately resulting in the most deadly decision he could have ever made, murdering his wife and her friend. Ali was pleading not guilty when one of the detectives mentioned seeing some messages on Instagram between Anna and Ray, mentioning meeting each other at a hotel. Ali blew up and completely lost it. Ali also blew up in court, having to listen to text messages between Anna and her friend Ray. They're no longer even alive, and even then he's still so angry and emotional over their bond. Ali Abulaban was in court testifying his own defense. It needs to be mentioned that this was an incredibly massive case in San Diego, California. Not only was this a double murder case, but he was also a TikTok star, which sent massive waves everywhere. Ali had 2.5 years to rehearse and plan everything out he wanted to say in court. While in the courtroom, Ali mentions the betrayal of his wife leaving him for another man, not being able to handle it, and how it drove him to murder Anna and Ray, still painting himself as the victim in this horrific crime.
When I saw that it was him, I couldn't take it. I couldn't take the fucking betrayal. I couldn't believe that she could do that to me, to our daughter. And then before I could stop myself, I just fucking snapped. My gun was in my hand, and next thing I'm shooting, and I can't stop. I'm just shooting, and I'm even startled. It's like I'm watching it happen. I'm like I'm in the passenger seat of my own body. I can't stop it, and I hear Anna screaming and crying. And I don't even remember shooting Anna. I just remember running back to the front door, and I grabbed the door handle, and then it hit me. I'm like, did that just happen? And I turn around and I see Anna leaning forward, and there's blood. And I'm like, Anna! I couldn't believe I did that.
And every chance he has to speak, it's always him as the victim. It's all Anna's fault for evoking this darkness in him. While in court, Ali tries to use the crime of passion defense. According to the Cornell Law School, in the crime of passion defense, specifically, the defendant must not only have been adequately provoked into the heat of passion, but the resulting crime must have been done in response to the provocation. As a result, this standard denies the defense to those who kill out of revenge or a reason unrelated to the provocation. You can't provoke someone by being with another man that you're allowed to be with when she's no longer with her husband. It doesn't work like that. None of that was sufficient enough to use the heat of passion defense. Furthermore, during the days leading up to the actual murder in question, Ali had Googled how to dispose of dead bodies, more specifically, chopped up bodies. This officially concludes that what Ali did wasn't a crime of passion. These were completely premeditated murders. The defense tried to paint Ali as a victim of a rough childhood, that he had untreated issues that went into his adulthood, whether that was ADHD, drug addiction, etc. They even tried to claim he had bipolar disorder, and that his drug addiction was so bad it was over-consuming everything in his life that he did. There was never an official diagnosis of bipolar disorder before the murders, nor did he ever seek out any help. It was only brought up after the fact years later. After a 28-day trial, Ali Abulaban was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder. He was sentenced by the judge to 25 years to life for each murder, 25 years for Anna, and 25 years for Ray. As this was announced by the judge, you can actually hear applauding from all around the room, as well as Ali's unhappy reaction to this.
But I can't say that I think he's sorry for having killed these 2 innocent human beings. He's a very selfish person, as I think the jury saw. That was something that his character kind of came through, and we asked, who is Ali Abulaban? That's who he is. He's somebody that is only thinking about himself, and the idea of killing 2 innocent people doesn't disturb him. It's chilling. So the bottom line here is he will die in prison. He will never be a free man. He will take his last breath there.
Ali Abulaban is a narcissistic, abusive, jealous, controlling individual. He was someone who strived to be funny and impersonated sadistic, violent killers, only to become the very thing he pretended to be, a killer himself. Unfortunately, sometimes reality is much darker than fiction. What I really find so painful in this case is that Ali had chances to turn things around. He had so many chances to fix himself, to take a hard look at himself and his actions, and seek help. But once again, he would just keep going down that same dark road, until eventually, he really did lose everything. He lost his wife, and now his daughter as well, who will eventually have to grow up without both parents due to his evil, twisted actions. I don't know if he thought he could truly get away with it or what, but now it's too late, and he will be rotting in prison until he dies. Anna and Ray didn't deserve what happened to them. Nobody does. Anna's friend wants Ray to be remembered as a light, a true vibrant ray of sunshine, if you will, someone who was willing to help anyone in need. As for Anna, it's said that she really brought joy wherever she went. She wanted to enjoy life. She wanted that for everyone, to be in the present and enjoy every single moment you have. This was a very disturbing case, and it was a hard one for me personally to get through. If you're a victim of domestic violence, please reach out and get help. Go to the hotline.org where they have 24/7 chat help support available, or call 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-SAFE. Please don't suffer alone or in silence. Get help.